What if a virus most people have never even heard of suddenly became serious enough for doctors and global health agencies to start monitoring it very closely? Not to create panic, not to start another lockdown, but because something unusual happened that caught the attention of health experts around the world. And the reason this story is getting attention right now is not just because of the virus itself. It's because of where it happened. A cruise ship, hundreds of passengers, multiple countries involved, and a virus that many people assumed only spread one way. But before we continue, let me say something clearly. This is not another COVID situation. Health officials currently say the overall public risk remains low. So this video is not about fear. It's about awareness, facts, and understanding what doctors are actually watching closely right now. And stay with me until the end, because I'm also going to explain what this virus actually is, how it spreads, why experts are paying attention, and what normal people should and should not worry about. If you're new here, welcome to Dr. Richard Health, where we talk about health, wellness, and real medical information explained simply. Now let's begin. The virus most people never heard about. The virus at the center of this story is called hantavirus. For many years, hantaviruses were considered relatively rare compared to viruses like influenza or COVID. Most cases were linked to exposure to rodents, especially contaminated droppings, urine, or dust particles in poorly ventilated areas. And usually, doctors believed human-to-human spread was extremely uncommon. But recently, something unusual happened. A cluster of cases connected to a cruise ship began attracting international attention. And what worried experts was not just the infections themselves. It was the possibility of limited person-to-person transmission involving a specific strain called the Andes virus. Now again, and this is important, health officials continue to say the public risk remains low. But scientists pay attention whenever a virus behaves in unexpected ways, especially in crowded environments. And that's exactly why this story became international news. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Because many people initially thought this virus would spread rapidly worldwide. Yet experts quickly explained that this virus behaves very differently from highly contagious airborne viruses. And understanding that difference matters. What actually happened? According to health agencies and international reports, several cases linked to the MV Hondias cruise ship triggered a coordinated monitoring effort involving multiple countries. Some passengers were monitored after possible exposure. Several countries began tracking close contacts, and health authorities implemented precautionary isolation measures for certain individuals. That sounds dramatic, but this is exactly what public health systems are designed to do. When something unusual appears, experts respond early. That does not automatically mean a global threat exists. In fact, WHO and CDC officials repeatedly emphasized there was no sign of widespread public danger. That's important, because fear spreads faster than facts online. And right now, many people are seeing scary headlines without understanding the actual context. But what really caught scientists' attention was this. The early symptoms of this virus can initially feel surprisingly ordinary. And that's one reason awareness matters. What are the symptoms? Early hantavirus symptoms often resemble common illnesses. That's one reason people sometimes dismiss them initially. Symptoms may include fever, muscle aches, chills, fatigue, headaches, nausea, coughing, or breathing discomfort. At first, some people may assume it's simply exhaustion, the flu, or a respiratory infection. But in more serious cases, breathing problems can worsen quickly. And that's why doctors take these infections seriously, even though they remain rare. Again, awareness matters, not panic. Because most people watching this video are extremely unlikely to encounter this virus directly. But understanding how public health systems respond to rare outbreaks is still valuable. Why experts are watching closely. Now you may wonder, if the public risk is low, why are experts still monitoring this closely? Because unusual outbreaks teach scientists important things, especially when international travel is involved, multiple countries are connected, and a virus behaves differently than expected. According to reports, the Andes strain is one of the few hantavirus strains associated with rare human-to-human transmission under certain conditions. That immediately increases scientific interest. Not because experts expect another pandemic, but because understanding transmission patterns matters for future preparedness. And honestly, this is exactly what strong public health systems are supposed to do. Monitor carefully, respond early, communicate clearly, and prevent unnecessary panic. But there's another reason this story exploded online, and it has less to do with medicine and more to do with psychology. Why people become so afraid of new viruses. Human beings naturally fear uncertainty, especially after COVID. So whenever people hear phrases like rare virus, quarantine, or outbreak, anxiety rises immediately. Social media amplifies this even more. Suddenly, dramatic headlines appear, misinformation spreads, and fear grows faster than facts. But here's what doctors consistently emphasize. Risk must be understood in context. And currently, health agencies continue to say the broader public risk remains low. That's why awareness and panic are not the same thing. Awareness helps people stay informed. Panic clouds judgment. And during health situations, clear thinking matters. What normal people should actually focus on honestly. For most people, there are much bigger health risks worth paying attention to every single day. Poor sleep, high blood pressure, smoking, obesity, lack of movement, chronic stress, diabetes. These conditions affect millions quietly every year. Sometimes people become extremely afraid of rare health stories online, while ignoring everyday habits damaging their health daily. That's important perspective, because good health is usually built through consistent sleep, healthy nutrition, movement, stress management, and regular medical care, not fear. And this next part may actually be the most important thing in the entire video, because many people misunderstand how viruses like this usually spread. Prevention still matters. Most hantaviruses are traditionally linked to rodent exposure. That's why prevention often focuses on avoiding contaminated areas, safely cleaning rodent-infested spaces, improving ventilation, and practicing good hygiene. Health officials also emphasize monitoring symptoms, seeking medical attention if needed, and following public health guidance when outbreaks occur. Again, this is not a situation where people should panic buy supplies or isolate unnecessarily. Even current international monitoring efforts are precautionary and targeted. That distinction matters. Preparedness is smart. Fear is not. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. Doctors pay attention whenever unusual health events happen. That does not automatically mean disaster is coming. Right now, experts are monitoring this rare virus carefully, while continuing to emphasize that public risk remains low. And honestly, that's exactly what you want health systems to do. Pay attention early, investigate carefully, communicate responsibly, and prevent unnecessary panic. Because awareness protects people far better than fear ever will. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who may be seeing scary headlines online without understanding the full picture. And before you go, let me ask you something. Do you think social media makes health fears worse today? Let me know in the comments. I read every one. And if you want more health videos focused on awareness, wellness, and healthy aging, subscribe to Dr. Richard Health and turn on notifications. Take care of yourself. And remember, staying calm and informed is often healthier than staying afraid.